Rhonda Constant, your favorite hometown medium, physical energy healer, oracle card advisor, paranormal investigator, voice for your loved ones. How are you today? So, I don't remember if I've read for you before. I do so many, so I like to say I see, hear, feel, sense, know. They talk to me, but they also show me pictures, and I call it spiritual charades. So I try to describe the picture the best I can. They never waste a message. There's always a reason for whatever they show or say. So if it doesn't make any sense now, keep it in mind. You'll either remember it later, see it later, or somebody else will validate it for you later and go, I know what he's talking about. And this is not an exact science. We communicate the best way we can. Sometimes you got to stretch it outside that box a little bit. And they don't give me all the details usually because the details are none of my business. They'll give me enough to where hopefully you'll understand what they're talking about. I made that speech enough times you'd think I wouldn't forget anything. Okay, so we're going to talk to your dad today. So he's coming in and he picks up, he's standing there, but he picks up one foot and he's pointing at his boot. Did he wear a certain boot? Did he, he's mostly pointing at the bottom of his boot. I don't know what he's pointing at. But it's clearly something about his boot. Do you have his boots? Did he always wear a certain boot? I don't know. Anyway. He says, you are doing awesome. You are doing kick-ass awesome. He's very proud of you. He says, over the top proud of you. Couldn't have done it better myself. Your choices are spot on. Perfect for your path, not for what he wanted. They're perfect for your path, for what you're working towards, the path you need to be on. He's showing a big hairy dog. This dog looks older. I don't even know what kind of a breed to call this one. It's kind of got hair like not Irish setter. Can't think of the type, but it's got longer shaggy hair with long shaggy hair on its tail. And as he walks around, it just watches him. It watches him. It watches him. So, and it's kind of a lighter color, like a brown tannish, maybe with some white on it, maybe even a little black on the ears or darker color. But it just follows him as he walks. So if you have this dog or know somebody that has this dog, I'm not feeling like the dog is with him. I feel like the dog is here. It could be with him. He could be trying to say that he has this dog with him and he wants somebody to know that, but he's not making it clear. I feel more like the dog is watching him here. And dogs, well, animals and small children, they see them, they hear them, no problem. So if you know this dog, watch it. The dog definitely sees him, wags its tail. It's looking at him with a lot of love. So if the dog like barks in the corner all of a sudden or whines at nothing, he's seeing him. He's seeing your dad. Okay, he mentions when they get close, I itch. I wish they quit. I wish their energy would quit doing that. Looks like I got bugs. He mentioned something about a cherry pie. I don't know if cherry pie was his favorite or you just recently made one, was thinking about making one, but something about cherry pie. So know when you get the smell of that cherry pie, and you can be in your car, you can be in Walmart, you can be outside, in your house. It doesn't matter where you're at, unless somebody's literally baking one under your nose. That's different. Darn it, I itch. Know that when you get that little whiff of fresh baked cherry pie, that's going to be a sign from him. And I asked them to come up with something unique. You know, everybody knows about feathers and coins and butterflies. So, oh my goodness, feels like something's crawling. This energy's really making me itch. And you may get that feeling too. When he gets close, you may get this, almost felt like a bug crawling down here, just itchy, itchy. Know that that's his energy. So, good grief. he's really got me going. So, the smell of the cherry pie, the itchy feeling. Know that that's him. So validate him, acknowledge him, tell him you love him, ask him to bring you more signs if you want more signs. Welcome him into your home. Tell him it's okay. That's your free will choice if you want to. When you acknowledge the signs and you get it, then that kind of excites them, like, oh, I finally got it through, you know, and you'll get more signs. So make sure you validate them. Now he mentions a horse. Don't know if he had a horse, you had a horse, had one when you were younger. Don't know. He just says horse. So whatever he throws out, I'm going to throw out. It's his show. He says your hair is beautiful. Have you recently done something different with your hair? You are a bright and shining star, more than you know. More than you know. Sorry. You're not trusting that you're such a bright and shining star. You kind of got your light hidden, like covered up. He says you need to let that out. Let it out. Let it fly. Don't be afraid of what people are going to think. It's none of their business. As far as keeping the farm, I feel like that's what he was talking about in the beginning. It says, do go and enjoy it. Enjoy the fresh air. Enjoy watching the leaves fall. Enjoy sitting, say it again. Enjoy sitting on the back porch, on the steps. Enjoy just sitting there and breathing in the wonder of nature. Enjoy the smell. It'll free your soul. And he's showing this dog again. It looks like the same dog. Enjoy the smell of fresh hay. These are all free. They're God-made, not man-made. There's no better place in the world. That's how he feels about the farm. And he wants you to have those same wonderful feelings. He says it's a place you can breathe, not like the city life and all the hustle and bustle. And he had me stop and listen to my wind chimes. The wind's just softly blowing on my deck. So if you have some wind chimes and they start tinkling, and they may start tinkling even with no breeze, he wants you to think of him with love. He's, he says nothing runs like a deer, and he's talking about John Deere, but he's also talking about four-legged deer. Shoot them. They're eating the crops. I don't deer hunt anymore. He's got a very strong presence at this farm. Very, very strong presence. This was his this was his life. This was his place. This was his peace. And he's hoping you feel the same peace when you're there. He's talking about an old tractor, an old tractor. So I don't know if you guys have one of those old pop tractors, or I mean, it may not be that old. I'm going to say it's green. I'm going to say it's John Deere green. Not absolutely sure, but an older tractor that was maybe something. No, now it looks red. I don't know. Maybe it was a smaller tractor that he putted around in on the farm. That's still there, probably. That he enjoyed just going out and bouncing around and riding and maybe pulling a wagon and pulling a little feed, or he just liked being out roaming around on it. His peace, his alone time. Now he's showing a young girl. I don't think this is you when you were younger. She's got long, light colored, kind of wavy, maybe little ringlet hair. Slim. He's showing her in a pretty little dress, like maybe a church dress or a confirmation dress, or maybe in somebody's wedding type dress. He's got his hand on top of her head, and she looks up at him. So she totally interacts with him. Maybe not full blown out in the open, hey, I see Grandpa type of feeling, but she knows he's there. And small children, they see them and they hear them until they get to be about 9 or 10 years old. I mean, it doesn't bother them until they get old enough to figure out, oh, people are going to start saying I'm crazy because I see people that aren't here, and they start to shut it down. So if she's older than that now, then he's showing that she did see him and looked at him with a lot of love. And he's still got his hand on her head, so he's watching out for her. He calls her his little angel, and he thinks of her that way. He says he was blessed to have the family that he has. Something about a creek. Did he have a horse that he rode? He's showing a creek, being down by the creek. I can't tell how old he is. I can't tell if this is something he did when he was younger, where he would ride his horse down to the creek and just kind of sit there and look at the creek, just enjoy it. It was his peace. He said it's a good way to get right with your soul. Try it. Okay, he's saying, you're not clear enough. Now, there's a woman behind him. First, I felt like mom, and now I'm not sure. She's moving around a little bit. I think she's trying to get closer where I can see her better. She hasn't. I can't see her that clear. I don't know if she's doing this on purpose because it's not her. Maybe she doesn't feel like it's her time to step forward. She has an apron on. She has a bonnet on. Could be grandmother instead of mother. Because she had wow, like the housewives used to wear back in the day. They wore a bonnet tied around her chin. With a long dress on. Apron. I'm not absolutely sure about the relationship, but she's related to him somehow. And she's there with him, or he's with her, however you want to say it. There's also a man, and he's like very, don't know the word I want to use, very stern, maybe. That may not be the right word. Very disciplined may not be the right word. Very, very, very strong when he was here. Very, had a lot expected to be in authority. Wanted things done his way. Very stern. Feel like this is a father or grandfather, but I'm not getting that connection clear either. So when I say relationships, I always tell people the little lady next door can feel more like your grandmother than your real blood grandmother clear across the country. So it's that relationship feeling. But it was somebody that was definitely older than your dad, was in a place of authority and it demanded authority. And I'm going to say father, grandfather figure. Your grandfather can feel like your father if he raised you. So that could be part of the wishy-washy there part in there. But I go stuttering again. Dad says you need to surrender to what is. Just go with the flow. Kind of like what he was saying before, like, being out there at the farm and just breathing and just getting right with your soul and just being at peace. Especially if you can't change a situation, just go with the flow. I'm assuming there's a house out at this farm and he's very, very, very strong presence in a house. Like, this is my place. This is where I've always been comfortable. This is where I'm at. And I'm still there. Well, now he talks about a door slamming inside the house. So if there is a house there and you hear a door slam like out of the blue and you think the wind did it, nope, it's Dad. Don't know why he's making such a big break. Now he's making it seem like it's slamming with a lot of force and it's going to make a big loud bang. It may not. A lot of times when they show me that stuff, they show me how hard they're trying to do it. So sometimes it doesn't come across that way. It might just be a little thing, but they're trying very hard to do it. I don't know why he picked slamming a door. That's up to him. It's his show. So if you have a door that keeps shutting and you go open it and you go back and it's shut, that's Dad. Again, validate him, acknowledge him, tell him you love him, thank him for being there. He will bring a great source of peace and comfort out there. Did you recently find a snake out by the shed, barn, whatever the big outbuilding is? He's showing one slithering along, like just outside the door. So if you haven't, keep your eyes open. It might be a warning. It doesn't really feel like a warning. Maybe he's trying to validate that he knows that happened. It looks like just a plain old black snake, but I can't tell for sure. But he says again, the beauty of nature. One of God's creatures. I don't like that creature. Sorry, I don't like that one. How can I help you? How can I help you? So if there's something that you need help with, and let's say be something Dad was good at, it needs to be. I always say, if Uncle Joe didn't have a pot to piss in, don't ask Uncle Joe for advice on finances, for help on finances, because he didn't know how to do it here. Not cutting down Uncle Joe. I hope you don't have an Uncle Joe. I always pick that name. So what was Dad good at? He says again, how can I help you? Telling, asking, not beg, ask for his help in blah, 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 something he was good at here, blah, blah, blah. And then just kind of let it go and watch and see what happens. But you have to allow it to. You have to ask because they cannot override your free will choice. I do dumb shit all the time and my guides go, Rhonda, that's not what we gave you. Yeah, I know. So ask and then allow and then just watch, see who calls, see what door opens, see what's brought to you, see who pulls in your driveway. I mean, it'll be something that'll help you towards that goal. That Dad can actually help nudge them or might get little ideas in your head you never had before. He says, don't be afraid to ask. That's what I'm here for. Always was. Nothing has changed in that aspect. Be my little beauty queen. Were you thinking about going back to school or taking some kind of a class or something you just want to learn, even if it's dance or art or it doesn't matter what it is? He says, do it. Do it now while you can. Don't have any regrets. You can do anything you put your mind to. You're beautiful. You're lovely. You're very sharp. Give yourself more credit than you do. Look at yourself through my eyes. How I saw you, how I felt about you. Look at yourself that way. Because that's how the world sees you, more than you know. I love you. Again, he says something about being my beauty queen. And he actually sees you like you have a tiara on your head. And he says he wants you to see yourself that way. Give thanks. Give thanks for the simple things you have, because they are the bread of life. That's a little, got some good things. He says, well, you didn't expect all that to come out of me, but just think about it. I have more wisdom now because I see things different from this angle. I can see how things work. We get down here, we have kind of this tunnel vision. When they're up there, then they can see the whole picture. They can see, things how it should work. Just bottom line, don't forget that I love you, and I still do. And with that, him and it. Well, now it kind of looks like that dog from the beginning, but now I see a white around its neck. It looks almost like a collie dog. As he's turning around to walk away, this dog is following him. So that dog that we talked about before could be with him instead of here, but from the back it looks more like a collie. So I'm not sure it's the same dog that he mentioned before, but as he's walking towards an outbuilding, a shed, a barn, something, it's not red, like a barn, this dog is by his side. And just totally devoted to him. And with that, he's leaving, but he's very, very strong on this farm. Very, very, very strong on this farm. Still is. Okay, much love to you, my dear. Thank you for allowing me to be his voice. Rhonda Constant, your favorite hometown medium, physical energy healer, oracle card advisor, paranormal investigator, voice for your loved ones. Later.